Picture a world that's entirely dominated by cold, calculating, perfect artificial intelligence, right? The machines are flawlessly efficient, optimizing literally every corner of society. But, in all that sterile perfection, where exactly do we fit in? Where does humanity fit? Today, in this explainer, we're jumping right into a breathtaking, almost sci-fi reality that is literally being built as we speak. It's an incredible story about how the beautiful, chaotic, irrational warmth of human existence is about to become our absolute ultimate shield. So, welcome to the world of EntropyGrid.
Okay, let's dive into this. It's a kind of existential dread that haunts pretty much every conversation we have about the future these days. I mean, we all know an era is coming where AI is going to handle almost every single job. And sure, it'll be incredibly convenient, no doubt about it. But it leaves us with this chilling question. If our economic value has always been tied to our labor, our ability to work, what happens when that labor is 100% automated? Are we really just destined to sit around waiting for handouts from tech giants and governments?
Well, the creators behind EntropyGrid propose a totally profound philosophical shift to answer that exact question, and it's a really radical, incredibly hopeful idea. The thought is that our value shouldn't be based on what we do, but on the simple, amazing fact that we just are. Think about it. When all the physical and intellectual heavy lifting is perfectly handled by algorithms, the mere act of being alive, of existing as a real flesh and blood human being, actually transforms into our primary, irreplaceable asset.
And to understand why this shift is so absolutely desperately needed, we just have to look at a massive, glaring bug in our current system. 670 million people. That's the number of people on this planet who currently face hunger. And here's the tragic irony of it all. The world already produces more than enough grain to feed every single one of them. The resources exist. So the issue isn't scarcity. It's a structural failure in how we distribute value. And as AI starts producing even more wealth, this bug is only going to magnify unless we fundamentally redesign what gives a human being the right to a share of that wealth.
Which brings us to this stark, almost cinematic contrast. Just think about it for a second. AI is the ultimate product of deterministic optimization, right? It processes massive amounts of data to find the single most perfectly rational, predictable outcome. But humanity, we are the exact opposite. We are beautifully messy. We make completely irrational choices, we have this inexplicable intuition, and we possess a stubborn, totally illogical will to keep going even when the odds are absolute zero. In a world of cold predictability, our warm, chaotic irrationality is the one single thing machines just cannot replicate.
And this brings us right down to the micro level. Seriously, look at your hand right now. The next time you swipe your smartphone screen, realize that your fingertip is generating something entirely unique. The subtle hesitation, the microsecond deviations in timing, the unconscious changes in pressure, these tiny, unpredictable fluctuations are actually a form of microresistance. There is no algorithm, no matter how ridiculously advanced, that can perfectly recreate the exact biometric poetry of a human hand swiping across a piece of glass.
And this leads us to the absolute core technical breakthrough of this whole project. Proof of human origin. It's a real game changer. By capturing those totally unpredictable, irrational movements, EntropyGrid actually converts them into what's called a true random number generator, or TRNG. So it essentially digitizes the warmth of human touch, turning it into this undeniable cryptographic stamp that literally says, hey, a living, breathing human being was here, right at this exact moment. It's an incredibly secure resource that AI simply cannot fake. No way.
So how does this actually build into a working system? Like, how do you refine a casual screen swipe into pure digital entropy? Well, first, the system digitizes those unique biological fluctuations. Second, it analyzes the complexity and uniqueness of that data in real time. Then, third, it puts that raw data through an intense cryptographic transformation. It purifies it and makes it quantum resistant. And finally, step 4, strict defense mechanisms are applied to make absolutely sure there is zero bot interference. The end result? Pure, unadulterated human randomness.
So the crucial point here is a massive transition in scale. We're moving from the power of a single individual's fingertip to a much larger philosophical reality. In a world that is completely saturated with hyper-rational, hyper-optimized AI, our human irrationality, our uncomputable nature, doesn't just become useful, it becomes the most scarce and valuable resource on the entire planet. It's the one ingredient the machines desperately need but can never, ever manufacture themselves.
Now let's zoom out and look at the macro solution. When you connect millions of these unpredictable human fingertips across the globe, you get the entropy grid. It's a decentralized, shared foundation. Just imagine a massive global defense line made entirely of our collective free will. The vision here is to make this human entropy the mandatory operational fuel for the AI economy. So if an AI wants to execute a high-level transaction, it literally must consume this human cryptographic fuel to prove a real person authorized it. And this tackles the terrifying problem of AI alignment through a really clever two-front strategy. Internally, we feed AI this human entropy to gently trim its extreme robotic perfection, sort of anchoring its behavior within the standard deviation of human common sense. But, internal goodwill just isn't enough. So externally, we lay down a hard economic rule outside the AI itself. This means human existence actually becomes a mandatory condition for any transaction to settle. The AI literally cannot function economically without us.
Now you might be wondering, why does this matter today? Well, because the real-world stakes are immediate. Proof of human origin isn't just some far-off futuristic concept. Right now, it gives us the power to defeat Sybil attacks, mass fake voting in online elections. It allows us to instantly strip automated bots and deepfakes from social media, which restores truth to our digital town squares. It protects your privacy by proving you're a unique human without demanding your name or ID. And ultimately, it lays the groundwork for a decentralized currency backed entirely by human existence, not just computing power or debt.
And this brilliantly illustrates a much larger societal trend. As the Silicon Valley thinker Naval Ravikant notes, people are losing faith in centralized systems. They are actively looking for exits. Bitcoin was an exit from central banks. Remote work was an exit from the rigid 9-to-5. Well, EntropyGrid is offering humanity the ultimate exit. It's an escape route from a future managed entirely by centralized governments and giant tech monopolies, giving the power right back to a decentralized network of real, verified people.
When we talk about AI taking over, our minds immediately jump to those traditional sci-fi tropes, right? We picture a dystopian matrix where cold machines totally dominate and harvest humanity. But EntropyGrid flips that script completely. Their vision is what they call the benevolent matrix. It's a hopeful, completely symbiotic ecosystem. In this scenario, the more the AI economy expands and generates wealth, the more it relies on human entropy, which means the economic benefits flow directly back to humans simply because they exist. We don't fight the machines, we naturally anchor them.
I absolutely love how the creator of this project makes this super abstract concept emotionally resonant. Think of Doraemon, the famous anime character. Doraemon isn't a terrifying, perfectly sterile, hyper-optimized Terminator. He's a slightly fluctuating, very human-like robot. He makes mistakes, he has quirks, he actually understands human common sense. By injecting AI with our true human randomness, we aren't creating some sterile, untouchable god. We're helping AI acquire immunity within the messy real world. We keep it intelligent, for sure, but safe and delightfully imperfect.
This whole evolution is going to unfold in epic stages. Today, it starts simply enough, digitizing the entropy of your smartphone swipes. In the near future, this scales up into next-generation bot authentication, protecting our elections and our digital signatures. But the distant future? Oh man, that is purely cinematic. Just imagine a world where brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink don't just optimize our thoughts, but directly extract the beautiful, completely irrational noise of the human brain itself. It makes our very consciousness the ultimate secure resource for the entire digital world.
We've covered some incredible ground in this explainer today, from the fear of human obsolescence to the realization that our irrationality is actually our greatest strength. So I want to leave you with this really provocative thought. If your very existence, your pulse, your thoughts, the slight hesitation in your fingertips is the ultimate irreplaceable resource of the future, what kind of world will you build with it? The AI era absolutely doesn't have to be a story of human replacement. It can be a story of human elevation. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating vision with me today. Let that question linger, and I'll catch you next time.